How's it going, everybody? Back to do a video. This time I'm chiming in on a contest that Chad has going on, who is the random 1369. I always thought it was 1969 or something like that, but it's the random 1369. So if you're watching me or not subbed to him, go and do it right now. Chad is an awesome guy. Kind of met him through Elias. By the way, happy birthday, Eli. Enjoy it. Anyway, yeah, I had no idea. I wasn't subbed to Chad's channel. Then him and Eli were talking one night, and we all kind of hooked up on a Skype session, and yeah, I had a lot of fun, and it was a pleasure meeting Chad, and he's just another one of the great friends I've made while being a member of the vinyl community. So um, his contest is show something that is kind of out of his element or kind of something that he wouldn't normally listen to, kind of inspire him or show something different. I know, Chad, I know you like heavy metal, hard rock, you know, death metal, black rock, stoner, sludge metal, whatever you want to call it, which I do too. I have quite a bit of it in my collection. First off, Red Fang, Mastodon, Baroness, The Sword. Just honorable mentions. I didn't pull those out of the collection, but right there. I know you like Primus, Blind Illusion, Les Claypool, and Lure. Their project prior to Primus. Primus's new album, their take on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I would highly recommend that as well. But picked out a few records and 2 CDs. So I'm listening to this right now. Deftones, Adrenaline. I know you're a Deftones fan. I love the Deftones. I couldn't find the CD, but Teen Sleep. If you've never heard them, go give them a shot. I don't know where I put my CD. Teen Sleep, they only released one album. Great group. Chino Marino, lead singer of Deftones, fronts that band as well. So, yeah, there you go. One of the CDs I picked out is Circa Survive. This is Blue Sky Noise. I couldn't find my other Circa Survive CDs, but this is the first album. The title's eluding me. Can't think of it. I think this was their third release, third or fourth album. Kind of alternative, kind of. It's hard to put a label on it. It can be progressive at times. Yeah, but check it out. Blue Sky. This is Blue Sky Noise by Circa Survive. Look for their first album. Their first album I loved a lot. I can't remember the title of it, but and then I picked this one out. I think you would dig this. Laundry. If you've never heard of them, this is a band called Laundry. This is the album Black Tongue by Laundry. Herb, the primer from Drumus, Tim Alexander, or the drummer from Primus, Tim Alexander, is in the band Laundry, and this is kind of dark. Kind of has a Primus vibe to it, but more dark and something I think that would be right up your alley if you're not familiar with it already. So check them out, Laundry. I think they only released 2 albums, but okay. And the rest are just records that I picked off the shelf. So something that's kind of different from what you're used to listening to. All right, first one. This is Explosions in the Sky. This is Earth. Earth is not a cold. What is it? Earth. The Earth is not a cold, dead place. By Explosions in the Sky. They have several albums, probably 6, 7 albums out. This is one of my favorites. I believe 3 of the 4 members hail from Texas, and I think the drummer, I want to say, is from Illinois. The S is silent, it's not Illinois. But, yeah, the drummer, I believe, is from Illinois. And the rest of the guys, I believe, are from Texas. It's, I guess, what would be considered post-rock, instrumental, up and down, beautifully arranged, crescendos and decrescendos. Great album, all instrumental. I think their newest album has vocals on it, if I remember. But Yeah, check them out. Explosions in the Sky, great band, great album to put on just to kind of relax to and just space out to. So here's another one. Very influential band on me in my drumming and my teen years. This is Minus the Bear. This was released in 2002. This is Minus the Bear's Highly Refined Pirates. Now, this album, I first heard this probably in 2003, 2004 maybe, a year or two after it was released. And it just, something about it just caught me, grabbed my attention, and I fucking love this record. It's one of my favorite records of all time. I mean, I know it's a newer release. It's not 30, 40 years old, and you know, but this is a great album. Minus the Bear, Highly Refined Pirates. Some of the members come from the band Botch, which I believe was like a mathematical rock kind of band. But yeah, Minus the Bear, highly influential on me. Great alternative rock or indie, whatever you want to call it. Great album and highly recommended. Chad, you might you may enjoy it. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this band, but I had to show it anyway. Against Me, this is Searching for a Form of Clarity. Probably the one album that you would enjoy the most. They're called punk rock. They're labeled as punk. They're certainly not punk pop or what do they call it? Like folk punk. I've heard them described as whatever. I love Against Me. It's just great rock music. This album in particular would probably be the most accessible album to listen to if you're a first time listener. Against Me. Even their newest album, Transgender Dysphoria Blues, just fucking smokes. It's a great album. Lead singer Tom Gable had a sex change, became a woman. Laura Jane Grace, I saw him back in May. Amazing band. That shouldn't deter you from listening to the music. The music's great. So, Against Me, this is Searching for a Form of Clarity. Check out the song Miami. Miami, um, Don't Lose Touch. If you just listen to those songs, you'll like it. Very catchy, very good album. Against Me, but all of their albums, in my opinion, are worth listening to. Uh, this is one of the 3 or 4 albums of theirs I own. This is RX Bandits. This is Mandala. Yeah, RX Bandits. Another band that's highly influential on me growing up. Growing up in the being born in the late '80s, growing up in the '90s, music really influenced me from the late '90s on. So most of the records I'm going to show are from that period. So RX Bandits formed in probably mid to late, probably early to mid '90s. I'm guessing. Um, they mix punk, ska, alternative, experimental at times. Great fucking band though. I mean, they had a horn section at one point. Their newest album just came out a few months ago. They dropped the horn section, but just a great listen. I mean, like I said, punk, highly, it's good rock music, but highly influenced from punk and ska, a little bit of everything. Great band. This is a great album. And The Battle Begun would be the record I would check out. This is a fantastic. I don't know why I didn't grab that one, but yeah, this is a great album. Definitely check out RX Bandits. Another band from the '90s that I absolutely love, Sunny Day Real Estate. These guys are just fantastic. I believe the bass player, Nate Mendel, I think is his name, is now in the Foo Fighters. The drummer from Sunny Day Real Estate originally played on the Foo Fighters' first album, but Dave Grohl and him, I think Dave Grohl just kind of got rid of him and redid all the drum tracks himself, which is, kind of an asshole move, but whatever. Great drummer nonetheless. William Goldsmith drumming, Jeremy Ennick on vocals. A great '90s alternative rock album. This album was just the shit. This is Diary by Sunny Day Real Estate. I mean, love this album, and it's definitely worth checking out Diary, Sunday Real Estate. All right, now this band I can't talk about enough. Mars Volta. Where to begin? In one of my last videos, I was kind of reviewing the album Delouse and the Comatorium, which is probably my favorite album by them. This album, I think, is the one you would enjoy the most. This is the Bedlam and Goliath, and I believe this record is based off of. It's kind of like a concept album based off a story of involving a Ouija board. From what I remember reading, uh, I bought this on CD when it first came out in 2008. This originally came out, but this album is the Mars Volta Rises from the Ashes of At the Drive-In, which is another honorable mention. At the Drive-In is, and I believe most of them are from El Paso, Texas. So, At the Drive-In's punk, rock, alternative, great band. But the Mars Volta mixes progressive rock, instrumental, experimentational, experiment music. It's just a great band. I don't know. I fell in love with these guys. The musicianship is outstanding. So the Mars Volta, check them out. I mean, it's a mixture of, like I said, rock, progressive rock, experimental rock, whatever you want to call it. But amazing band. All right. Jazz music. I know you're not a big fan of jazz, or I know you don't really. It's not. I wouldn't say you're not a big fan. You just never really kind of got into jazz. I guess, and I have a lot of friends that don't like jazz either. I guess it's an acquired taste. I didn't really get into jazz until my late teens. Playing drums, I've always focused on metal drummers or, just great rock drummers. But then jazz came into my life, and ever since I've just been, and it's such a wide variety of different styles of jazz, many musicians, many great albums to be listened to, but this is one album I thought, of all jazz, this is Bitches Brew by Miles Davis. This is, if you were to look into any jazz, or if you were to start listening to jazz fusion would be the route I think that you would really enjoy, where it fuses jazz and rock, jazz fusion. And there's several great jazz fusion bands out there. Mahavishnu Orchestra, check them out. Return of Forever. Start from there and go on. I mean, there's a lot. But this, I guess, it could be considered one of the first jazz fusion records. Bitches Brew, Miles Davis from, I think this is 69, I want to say. I'm not too sure the year. But yeah, John McLaughlin appears on this album, who goes on to start Mahavishnu Orchestra. Lenny White on drums, who went to drum in Return of Forever. Who else is on here? Jack DeJohnette on drums. I mean, I can go on and on. Yeah, Dave Howland on bass. Joe Zawinul on piano. And Wayne Shorter, who went on to form Weather Report, which is another great jazz fusion band. But Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. At first listen, for someone that's never really listened to much jazz or jazz fusion, it's kind of, it might be kind of out there, different, but as I mentioned, it fuses jazz, it fuses rock, so highly recommended. I would, if you're gonna, if you have any interest in starting to listen to jazz, I would start with some sort of fusion, but this album in particular, Bitches Brew by Miles Davis, great album, love it, and yeah, go from there if you enjoy it. Last album I'm going to show, one of my favorite bands of all time, another band that formed in the late 90s, kind of rose to fame in the 2000s. This is Coheed and Cambria. Not my favorite album by them. I really don't have a least favorite album, but this isn't my favorite album by them. So, but this is Year of the Black Rainbow, Coheed and Cambria. It's based off of basically the first 5 albums were is all a story, is all concept albums, with this being the final chapter in what was the Amory Wars, I believe it's pronounced, which was basically a story, a tale written by the lead singer and guitar player Claudio Sanchez. This album is probably their heaviest and darkest album, in my opinion. Um, their first 3 albums are just amazing. The first 5 albums, all of their albums are amazing. I know Fitzy down in Texas. I know he loves Coheed and Cambria. He's the one that actually got me the autographed Coheed record, which is just amazing. But yeah, Coheed and Cambria, Year of the Black Rainbow. If you're gonna check them out, this would be the album I would check out. Or No World for Tomorrow was a great album, but this is the 5th album that kind of ended the what was the story that had been written. So, Coheed and Cambria, Year of the Black Rainbow, great album. Um, I would recommend any Coheed record, but I know you're a fan of metal and hard rock, heavy metal, so this would be the album I would check out first. Year of the Black Rainbow by Coheed and Cambria. So that's it. Just a few records I thought might kind of open up your mind to what else is out there, stuff that you may have never heard or may not have even have thought to look into. So, as I mentioned, if you're subscribed to me and you're not, to Chad, the Random 1369, he's a great guy. We've become good friends over the past year and a half. We've sent records back and forth to each other. Yeah, he's a great guy, a great sense of humor, and once again, another highly respected member of the vinyl community. And I'm glad we, became friends. So that's it, everybody. Chad, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you kind of dig into some of the titles I've had shown. So, everybody, take care, be good to yourselves, and as always, we'll talk soon.